Slovakia, I had to do a part 2. These Negroes that's choosing death, see, they choosing their slave masters, the so-called white men. And the majority of them is going to die in that nuclear holocaust because they participate in the abomination. See, he say, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. See, he don't even hear their prayers because they believe the so-called white man, they worship him, and when he say the law is done away with, they believe it. And they go with all the philosophy that he done fed they behind, telling them that they can deal with abomination. See, they can be eating unclean, abominable foods. They can dress in an abominable way. See, and the Lord still gonna love them. He's still gonna listen to their prayers. See, let's get that in Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 6. He says, for the Most High hated sinners and will repay vengeance upon the ungodly and keep them against the mighty day of their punishment. See, he gonna repay the ungodly. The Most High not gonna let them get away with being abominable here in Babylon the Great, America. That's why you see them dying all over the place, killing each other. Ezekiel 39 and 28, it says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance. See, he say he hates sinners, and he gonna keep them in the day of punishment against that day, because they participating in these devils' abominations. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire. See, they get burned up in the house fire. They get burned up in a nightclub. They get burned up in their car. The Lord created that spirit to go make that happen. Hell, famine, death, all these was created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts, when they get ate up by an alligator, a bunch of pit bull dogs, bit by a snake. Teeth of wild beasts, scorpion, serpent, like that snake. And the sword gets shot up after the club. And the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. See, the Lord hates sinners, and he sends spirits to come kick they behind. Proverbs 17 and 11. It says, an evil man seeketh only rebellion. Therefore a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. See, he creates spirits to kill the wicked. See, he get the wicked people to kill the wicked people. He created them to do so. Proverbs 16 and 4, it says, the Lord have made all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. See, he even made the wicked people so they can kill other wicked people. They can be them spirits created for vengeance. See, he created them for vengeance. This is why you see wicked people on the earth. This is why you see killing going on, because the Lord is punishing people. This is the way he punishes people. See, the blind lead the blind. See, the blind kill the blind. See, this is how he operates. He's not just jumping out there and letting people get knocked off. Now when you go into Job, just to make that point, you know you got these Christians. Oh, God is love. He's only love. No, that's not how he operates. Job 4 and 7, he said, remember I pray thee, whoever perish, or die, or are killed, being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? even as how I have seen they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. See, if you're doing wickedness, you're going to be met with wickedness. And the Lord created the wicked to punish your behind. See, he created the wicked to go kill those wicked people. And the Lord will kill your children too. That's another thing. See, people think it's all about what they doing, and it ain't about just what. I mean, he think they just gonna punish them. He ain't always gonna punish just the parents. See, he gonna punish the children with their parents. Look at Isaiah 14 and 21. He say, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. So he's not just punishing the parents and individuals that do wickedness. He'll punish them and their children. See, that's why the Lord, they call him terrible. Let me see if I can run into that verse. Let's see here. This is Psalm 66. It says, come and see the works of God. He is terrible in his doings toward the children of men. See, the Lord is terrible, man. He will take you out. That's why this nuclear fire that's coming for Babylon the Great is going to be terrible. And he's going to burn these people up. See, if they want to participate in the abomination with their slave master, he's going to burn them up. Gonna focus on these 12 tribes because they his people. He said he chastised the one that he loved, and he loved the 12 tribes. But that's why he said he's coming for his house first. I'm gonna get that, but let me get Zechariah 14 and 12. Says, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. See, the sinners of his people is fighting against Jerusalem. They're fighting against their own people. They're not showing love for their brother by keeping that law. See, keeping those laws is not showing love for your brother, because you'll steal, that's a part of the law. You'll kill, that's a part of the law. You'll steal, that's a part of the law. See, you're not showing love for your brother. So you're going against Jerusalem. It says, their flesh shall be consumed away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. See, when that nuclear fire comes, people going to be standing on their feet. But that fire going to rip the skin off their bodies. The eyeballs and tongues is going to consume away in their mouth. That's how God is terrible concerning the children of men, towards the children of men. Because when he punished they behind, it's going to be an amazing punishment. And he going to rescue the righteous and punish the wicked. This is what he coming with. That's why death is flying through the earth like never before. Let me get that. 2nd Ezra 15. I'm going to jump down to verse 4. It says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, says the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurt hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore says the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. See, they will for sinners. They exercise wickedness. See, how do you exercise wickedness? Same way you exercise faith in Yahweh, did you keep his commandment and do what he tells you to do. It says, behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. See, because the Lord, he allows certain righteous men to be martyrs. So those martyrs that the Lord had, they was innocent. But just like Yahweh, he was innocent, but he was a sacrifice. He said that their blood cried out to him continually, complaining, when are you going to kill these devils and come and rescue the wicked? I mean the righteous. Let's get that. Because the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they not crying out to the Lord for him to come and rescue them from their slave master. They trying to cry out for him to help them get along with the slave master and help them prosper in the slave master's land. Luke 18:2, it say, this is an example of proverb Yahweh gave about the nation of Israel. And this is what the 2/3, this is what the 1/3 is doing, but the 2/3, they are not doing it, and it's not even in their mind to do it. I'm going to start at verse 2 in Luke 18. It say, saying, there was in a city a judge, which feared not God, neither regarded man. See, the judge that he talking about is these Edomites. So when you go into 2nd Ezra 11, it says that these Edomites judge not the earth with truth. See, they judge the earth with a bunch of lies and a bunch of wickedness. It says, and there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, avenge me of my adversary. See, the so-called white man is the adversary. Adversary means Satan, the devil. See, this is who these people is. It says, and he would not for a while, but afterwards he said within himself, though I fear not God, nor regard man, yet because this widow trouble me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me. And the Lord said, hear what the unjust judge said. So the judge was unjust, and the lady was wearing him down. See, by her complaining and crying out, the unrighteous judge who didn't regard man, he was considering what this lady was saying. But look what God said. He said, you hear what the unjust judge said? And shall not God avenge his own elect? See, he used this example of this lady crying out to an unjust judge, and she wearied the judge down. But he said he's a righteous judge, and he gonna hear his elect. He says in verse 7, it's Luke 18:7, and shall not God avenge his own elect? See, how do you avenge somebody? You do a bunch of killing. See, he gonna do a bunch of killing. It says, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them. I tell you that he will avenge them quickly. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? See, he gonna find the 2/3 loving their slave master. he gonna find the 2/3 loving America and the abomination that has been done in America. See, he gonna find them being unfaithful. That's why he say the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So when you go to the part about this which cry day and night, that's what Ezekiel 9:5 was talking about. The men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that are done in Babylon the Great, in the kingdom of the Edomites. It says, nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh. So when is he coming? When he coming to avenge. He say, will he not come to avenge his elect speedily? In Isaiah 63. He say, who is this that's coming from Edom? See, it ain't who coming from Edom. He going to Edom. See, he coming to their country and he gonna kill they behind. It says, who with dyed garments from Basra. That Basra stands for America. He's coming to kill the American. He said, this that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in his greatness of his strength. He says, I speak in righteousness, mighty to save. He said, whereas thou red in your apparel. He said, why is your clothes red? And your garment like him that treadeth in the wine fat. He says, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger. Talking about the Edomites. And trample them in my fury. Talking about the Edomites, the so-called white man. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garment. See, when he come to avenge his elect, he's coming to put blood on his garment, the blood of the Edomites on his garment. And I will stain all my remnant, for the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeem is come. See, that's why the comedian, one of the white comedian guys, he said, hey man, when he come for us, we gonna get the ultimate judgment. Because we living, it ain't no greater thing to be a so-called white man in this world. That's the greatest operation. You white and you a man. He said when God come, he coming to kill. We gonna get the greatest punishment ever. This is one of their own people now. He on the stage being a comedian, but he telling the certified truth. Cause he know it ain't no greater operation to be a so-called white man in the world, not just America, in the whole world. See, that's the greatest blessing, the greatest gift that you can have in 2023. See, but the punishment for it is going to be horrendous. That's why Yahweh shall say, I'm coming for Edom, and my garment's going to be with blood on them. Because he not only is they ruling by the sword. How do you rule by the sword? Meaning your military is ultimate, and you can kill anybody you want to. And they've been rape, robbing, and murdering since 1492. Even before then, but in recent time. Now, chapter 34 of Isaiah gives a more vivid operation also. It says, verse 34, verse 5, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven, his weapon. That's that nuclear missile. My sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. See, when he comes, first is going to be nuclear missiles coming. See, Yahweh Shai, he going to come and be killing people. But at the same time, he coming with them nuclear missiles too. But that's his weapon. That's the sword that he coming with. It says, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Like that comedian say, when the judgment comes, it's going to be horrendous. Verse 6, he say, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. and it is made fat with the fatness and with the blood of lamb and goats, and fat kidneys of rams. For the Lord have a sacrifice in Bosra. Bosra is Babylon the Great America. That's what Bosra represents. It says a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. What is the land of Idumea? The land of the so-called white man, which is the kingdom of Esau. See, he got judgment coming to their land. And this mirrors Isaiah 63. But Isaiah 34 just shows you how he's coming with those nuclear missiles. It says, verse 8, for this it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. See, that's exactly what he said. He said his blood is going to be on his garment when he comes to Edom. Then he said he got a sword that's going to be in the sky, a weapon that was going to be in the sky that was going to come down upon the Edomites, the so-called white man. You see? That's why he said, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. Because he's coming to prepare slaughter for these Edomites. Now, this is why we telling our people it's time to wake up and it's time to change. What is Romans 13 and 11, it say, and that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. So it's time for the 12 tribes of Israel to wake up. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because the Lord is coming to judge the so-called white man and the Gentile. And he's coming to judge the 2/3 of the nation of Israel that want to be rebellious and hard-headed and stiff-necked. This Romans chapter 12, verse 2, it says, and be not conformed to this world. See, don't conform to the world of the so-called white man and the Edomites. See, don't conform to their world. This is what he's telling the 12 tribes of Israel. Don't conform to the world of the Edomites. It says, but ye be transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is what Nicodemus was saying. Or this is what Yahushua was saying to Nicodemus by being born again. You got to reform and renew your mind because you was taught by your slave master every lie you could think of. Everything he taught you was a lie. See, it says that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. And what's the will of God? Psalm 40 and 8. It says, I delight to do your will, O my God. Yeah, your law is within my heart. See, the so-called white man in his religion told the Israelites to discard that law. That law is impossible for them to do. See, everybody is wicked. Everybody have wicked thoughts, and everybody can't do that law. That law is impossible to practice. See, you can willfully sin all you want because that law is impossible. This is what the devil done told them, and they believe it. And they sucked it up like it was the greatest thing on the scene. But what did he tell them in Matthew 7 about the will, about that law? See, this is what he said in Matthew 7. It ain't just you prophesying and saying what the Lord gonna do. It's bigger than that. You got to have both of the operation. That's what Revelation 12 and 17 say. Those that keep the commandments and the testimony. And the prophecy. It says, verse 21 is Matthew 7 and 21. not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. See, they can prophesy all they want. Yeah, we the Israelites, da-da-da-da-da, we the first man and all this crap. But if you ain't keeping them commandments, the Lord is going to say this, verse 23. Then will I confess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. You that break the law and willfully break the law, just because the so-called white man convinced you to do so in his false, fake religion. Let's get that. Colossians 2:8. It says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. See, this is what the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they being spoiled through the philosophies of the so-called white man. It says, after the tradition of men, after the tradition of Esau. See, he been doing it since he started his religion. It's been a tradition to not follow that law and that those laws in the Old Testament. It says, after the rudiments of the world and not after a Mashiach, Yahushua. See? And so the 2/3, they gonna follow the so-called white man, and they gonna be burned up in that nuclear holocaust. Let's see here. Lamentations 4:17. We talking about these 2/3 that want to follow the so-called white man in being wicked and practicing abomination. Lamentations 4:17, it say, as for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. Let me say that again. This is Lamentations 4:17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. See, the nation can't save them. The so-called white man can't save them. But they gonna listen to him and say we gonna follow his laws, but we ain't following the laws of that Old Testament. That's that old religion. That's that old stuff. See, this is 2023. This is a new day. We living with the time. See, we living with what the so-called white man say legal. That's what we gonna do. If he says it's legal for us to do it, we gonna do it. We ain't living in no Bible time. See, this is what a Negro and a Hispanic will spit out of his mouth, and he gonna burn them with fire. Because see, them proud statements that they making after they done heard the prophet come out and tell them the truth. Malachi 4:1, it say, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud. See, all the ones that we're not going to follow them laws of the Old Testament. Yeah, and all that do wickedly. How do you do wickedly? You break the laws of Moses. Shall be stubble, and the day that come shall burn them up. See, these 2/3 is going to be burned up with their slave master. Says the Lord of hosts. See, not a bunch of Negroes on the corner holding signs. See, we ain't saying it. This is the Lord of hosts saying it. Says the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. See, this is not the Negroes who sign and crying for the abomination. They not saying nothing. See, they giving you the testimony. Let's get that. Isaiah 8:20. And this is what a Christian definitely don't do. It says to the law, see, and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. See, they don't speak by no word. They just get up, hold a Bible, and run their mouth and tell you that it's impossible to keep the laws of God. It's impossible to obey God. See, it's impossible for a Gentile, for a so-called white man who was born to be wicked. It's impossible for them, but not for the nation of Israel, who was born to keep that law, who was created to keep that law. See, it's not impossible for them to keep the law. It's impossible for a heathen to keep the law. See, this is what they can't understand. That's why they say, never trust your enemy and don't listen to the so-called devil, the so-called deceiver, antichrist, the so-called white man that say nothing matters. Do whatever you want, nothing really matters. Now, what was it? I said, they gonna get burned up listening to their slave master. Let's see here. The verse I was thinking about. Let me get second Ezra, what is it, 16 and 22. Not only is some of them gonna get burned up, see, this is what a lot of them gonna happen to a lot of the 2/3. The second Ezra 16, verse 22, it says, for many of them, talking about the 2/3 Israelites, that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. See, when they call martial law and all hell break loose in America, it's going to be people starving to death. See, it's going to be people getting shot by random AK-47s by these UN soldiers that's crossing the border. See, they going to be dying by the sword. Let me read that again. It's 2 Ezra 16 and 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. See, the sword is going to destroy these people. Let me go ahead and get 15. 2 Ezra 15, starting at verse 16, it says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard the kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. That means with martial law, they call martial law, it's going to be people fighting against the martial law. See, it's not just going to call martial law and everybody going to say, okay, do whatever the martial law troops say, and they going to call martial law, so we going to obey what they say. No, they going to call martial law, and people going to bring out their guns. See, people going to be shooting and throwing stuff. See, when they show them raids, that's what 2 Ezra 8 is talking about. When they show them raids, and you see the police come in droves, and they got them big old shields and stuff, people be throwing stuff at them, throwing cocktail bottles at them, throwing rocks at them. They just don't say, oh, the police is in the road, y'all. They done called martial law, we gonna behave ourselves. No, they gonna go crazy. This is what he says, a sign that the Lord is coming. 2 Ezra 9 and 3. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shall you well understand that the Most High spoke of these things from the days that were before you even from the beginning. How is he speaking of these things? By the prophet. See, the prophet's been talking about martial law. We've been telling them that the so-called white man is going to call martial law and shut this place down. See, when they money fall, which is about to fall due to the BRICS, because these BRICS nations, their dollar is going to be way more than the American dollar. See, that American dollar is going to be 1, and that BRICS dollar is going to be 55. So if you want a piece of bread, and the BRICS dollar is 55, you can't come with that American dollar that ain't worth but 1. You ain't gonna get nothing. See, you gonna starve out. So they gonna have to lock down the society as soon as they implement that BRICS dollar, because they living off trade. See, they just ain't living off what's in America. There's a lot going on with the trade. Now it says, where is it? Let me go back to 2nd Ezra 15. So you're going to see seditions of men when they bring that martial law. Verse 17, it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. See, they're going to want to drive in the city, but it's going to be martial law troops. See, the UN, with all these people flooding the border. See, they're going to have UN troops, martial law troops all over the place. And a Negro and a Hispanic, they ain't gonna know what to do. They gonna scramble. And they gonna go to killing. It says, a man, verse 19, a man shall not have pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. See, they gonna be going house to house, trying to find something. And spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. See, it's going to be great tribulation and Babylon the Great, America. See, when you got these poor people, ain't got nothing to eat. See, you got right around the corner, you got about 5 homeless people looking a hot mess, drugged up, tatted up from head to toe. When they call martial law and these stores dry up, what you think them people gonna do? They gonna turn into straight zombies. They already got the zombie vans riding around. See, I seen them take zombie reaction, no zombie response team. See, they already preparing for when these people go crazy, because they're not gonna be thinking like a normal person anymore. They're gonna get animalistic. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. See, it's not just because there ain't no food, it's because it's great tribulation. See, anarchy. They done called martial law. They got troops swarming the area. They got militias swarming the area. See, this is when people is gonna get their gun and they gonna go on the hunt and they gonna go on a survival mode. See, ain't gonna be no, I'm gonna get me a job and make me a paycheck. All that's gonna go out the window. See, people gonna go into Rambo's mode. See, they gonna have them an automatic weapon or a Uzi, and they gonna be trying to survive. They gonna put them on a bulletproof vest and have their bullets in their book bag, and they gonna be trying to survive. Ain't gonna be no, oh, I'm gonna survive and go get me a job. All that's out the window, man. You got martial law, the government, they about to shut down anyway. See, that's all Bible prophecy, man. This is not somebody paranoid. See, this is God done told us exactly what's gonna happen and when it's gonna happen. So when they shut down Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abomination, see, because you got abomination going every weekend. You got abomination in every city, in every grocery store. See, these people practice this stuff and they love it. And he gonna come shut this place down. And he's already plaguing the place. What is 2 Ezra 15 and 10, no, 15 and 11. It says that I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. How he gonna smite Egypt with plagues as before? This is talking about a new Egypt, a spiritual Egypt, which is Babylon the Great, America. And will destroy all the land thereof. He gonna destroy the place with nuclear missiles. See, they got the movie, what, the creators? I just seen the movie now. They talking about 2065. They done killed off all the people. It's just a little bit of Asian people running around with some robots. See, and the Americans, they hanging on for dear life. They coming to try to kill all the robots so they can take over the world again, because the robots done took over. See, this is what they paranoid about. But it's not gonna happen. Before 2000, you're not even gonna see no 2065, man. They talking about a 2065. They $33 trillion in debt, and you talking about a 2065. See, when you in debt, they gonna repo your car. When you in debt, you gotta call bankruptcy and shut the business down. You ain't finna make it to no 2065. That's 40 years. So they saying they gonna run the credit up, they gonna run the debt up for 40 years. And they gonna create all kind of robots. They got in the movie they had a factory where they was creating robots. But then they had a super robot, where the super robot was this little boy, and the lady had made a super robot that can take over and control all the other robots. But the factory was showing how they thinking they gonna be producing robots. Now, they even got a robot that they gonna say you can be able to duplicate this robot. We got a robot that you can duplicate and you can program to do what you want. See? Because when they make these movies, they telling you what they want to do and what they gonna do. Because they already got factories where robots is building robots. See, the robots done took control and killed like 20-something people. See, these people already know and planned on the chaos. They gonna call martial law. What you call them, robot dogs. They gonna set loose the robot dog. See, the robot, new martial law soldiers, a lot of them ain't even got to leave out the police station. And then the people that's coming over the border, they keeping them at the police station. So why they jumping the border and staying at the police station? Because you finna call martial law. That's what it's about. And see, that's why he say the men that sign and crying, the Lord gonna put a mark on their head. But first, he want them to warn the Israelites, warn the 2/3, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, see, the Negroes, the West Indians, the Haitians, the Dominicans, the Guatemalans, the Panamanians, the Puerto Ricans, the Cubans, the Native Americans, the Seminole Indians, and Argentina, and Chile, Colombia, what is that? Uruguayans, and the Mexicans. And not all of them, just the ones that go back to the nation of Israel. That's in those lands. Those are the lands that the nation of Israel and those tribes are residing in. You see, he warning them. He said, go give them warning for me. Go to thee of the captivity. That's under the so-called white man that got to do what he said. See, and living in his world full of abomination. See, walking around with all kind of abominations going on. It says, let me see. But yeah, this is why we telling our people they gotta change, because they done ran out of time. The time is up. If you don't change, that ark door is gonna close on you, just like Lot. What did Yahweh say in Matthew 24? They was asking him, when is the end is going to come, man? When is the end of the nation of Edom reigning on the earth? When is it going to come? When is the nation of Israel is going to have the kingdom? That's what they asking him. They weren't asking him, oh, when is you going to start a Christian church and have a bunch of heathens up in there? No. They said, when are you going to give the kingdom back to the Israelites? Because you got the so-called white man ruling as Romans. What is it, 21? Matthew 24. He says, where is it? He says, verse 7, he said, for nation shall rise against nation. How a nation gonna rise against nation? See, when in the Bible, a nation is not talking about a country. See, it's talking about a race. Race shall rise against a race. It says, and a kingdom against kingdom. Now, a kingdom can go for a country. It says, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. So this is what's going to happen, man. They're going to call martial law and all heck is going to break loose. It says, where is it? Verse 21, for then shall there be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days be shortened, see, till he cut these days short, he got to come and stop the time, see. Except those days be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. What flesh is he talking about? See, he's not talking about the flesh of all men. He's talking about the flesh of the 12 tribes of Israel, because the dragon was going to making war against the saints. The dragon was making war against the remnant of her seed, her children. See, the dragon was making war with them. So he had to come and rescue them. He says, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Now when you go into Isaiah 44, Isaiah 44 or 45. Isaiah 45 verse 4. He says, for Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, my elect. See? So in Matthew, when he said he got to stop the time because of the elect, he's talking about the nation of Israel. It says, for there, no, Salaki. And this is Matthew 24:22. And except those days be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Verse 24, for there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. So the elect is not going to be deceived by the so-called white man. The elect is not going to be deceived by the Negroes and Hispanics that's following the so-called white man, pushing his agenda. See, the elect Israelites is not going to be deceived. We going to know what these dragons are doing. Verse 30, it says, and then shall the sign of the Son of Man, then shall there appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the cloud of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect. For from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Now he say the four winds. That's Revelation 7. Who is being gathered from the four winds? Who is being gathered from the four winds? Let's see here. Revelation 7:1, it says, after these shall I saw four angels standing in the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor the sea, or any tree. Jump down to verse 3, it says, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, neither the trees, till we seal the servants of God in their foreheads. See, the men that signed and crying for the abominations done in Babylon the Great and all the kingdoms of the Edomites. It says, and I heard the number of them, see the men that's sealed on the forehead, which were sealed, and there was sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. See, not a bunch of heathen, not a Christian church, not a Muslim mosque, but the children of Israel. See, this is what it's talking about. Now when you go into, these are the ones that's going to be sealed and delivered. See, they talking about they going to deliver a church. Never and never and never. They going to deliver them to them nuclear missiles coming from Russia and China and Iran and North Korea. That's what they going to be delivered to. Revelation 11 and 12, get right to the point. It says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. So their enemies is going to be here, they going to be here, and they going to ascend up to the cloud, but the enemy is going to be trying to kill them. See? That's why he coming to deliver them. It says, in the same hour was there a great earthquake. What caused the earthquake? A nuclear holocaust for Babylon the Great, America. And the 10th part of the city fell. The city of America fell into 10 parts. It says, in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted. See, there go that remnant again. Only 1/3 of the nation of Israel is going to survive the destruction of Babylon the Great, America, the daughter of Babylon. It says, and the remnant was affrighted and gave glory to the God of heaven. So when they seen Babylon the Great, America being destroyed by nuclear fire, they was giving God praise. Now this Revelation 15 and 2. It says, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, that's the mark of Satan, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having harps of God. That's that remnant, the 1/3. See, they gonna be standing in the sky, looking at Babylon the Great burn. That's why he says a glass. I mean, the sky gonna be like, they gonna standing on glass, because they gonna be standing in the sky, and they gonna be looking at the mingled fire with the America being blown up. That's that lake of fire that they gonna be looking down at America. It's gonna look like a lake of fire. Now it says that they got victory over the mark. See, that's another thing. They gonna follow the so-called white man, and when he tell them to put some device in their behind, they gonna do it. When he tell them to swallow poison, they gonna do it. See, when he tell them, I love you, just take this poison, because if you don't take this poison, you might drop dead. Okay, they gonna take it because they trust their enemy. Tell them never to trust your enemy. See, but these 2/3 Negroes, they worship the slave master. They worship the so-called white man. And that's why they're going to have to die by nuclear fire on this side of the time where the Gentiles is ruling. Now when the Israelites is ruling, Yahushua might resurrect it. When the Israelites is ruling, the 144,000 might have power to resurrect. See, that's a whole nother story. But on this side, they gonna have to be burned by fire. Because they chose death and hell, which is the so-called white man, and they gonna receive that lake of fire because their name is not written in the book of life. And so what I read, let me get Psalms 20. It says, wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gate. In the city she uttered her words, saying, how long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. See, the 2/3, they hate knowledge. See, that's why they hate to read, they hate to do anything. See, and they gonna have to die with their slave master. Let's see here. Verse 23, it says, turn you at my reproof, behold, I will pour out my spirit upon you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called and you refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regardeth. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and will not with none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. See, and he gonna send spirits of vengeance to cause the calamity. I will mock when your fear come. When your fear come as desolation, and your destruction come as a whirlwind. See, the nuclear missiles is gonna come like a whirlwind. That's that destruction that's coming. When distress and anguish come upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. So the 2/3, when they hear that the prophet is telling them martial law is coming, the so-called white man is going to try to exterminate them. When they realize what's happening, God is not going to be hearing them cry. See, they're going to be crying, oh Lord, help me. Oh Lord, we should have listened to the prophets. This is Jeremiah 33, no, Ezekiel 33 and 33. It says, and when this come to pass, lo, it will come, then they shall know that a prophet have been among them. See, they're going to know that their brethren were telling them that the so-called white man is the devil, and he going to try to kill they behind. See, and if they trust him and drink his poison and put his devices in their body, thinking that it's some kind of win for them, they gonna find out when that nuclear fire come and burn they behind up. And they gonna have to repent and be born again and renew their mind to understand who they are and not to trust their enemy, their slave master. See? Because everything he teaching is a lie. And their brethren is teaching the certified truth, because the Lord is only giving his secrets to the prophet. They're the children of Israel. He's not giving no secrets to no Edomites or no Arabs or no Chinaman. See? He's not giving no secrets to no East Indians or no Hamite Africans. He's not giving them none of the secrets. Only thing they can do is regurgitate what we done already said back in 1910. See, we've been telling the truth back in 1910. That's why they came in World War I, the Federal Reserve, the King Kong, and all this kind of crap. Because we've been telling the truth. But I'm going to leave it there. Give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.